Hi everyone, and tonight is Soul Tribe Huddle. It's the 22nd of May 2019, and I'm really excited tonight. I'm going to put myself on speaker view, but I'm really excited tonight because I wanted to I'm going to be sharing the screen with one of my beautiful leaders, Maxine, who most of you, in fact all of you, will know. She's a little bit late, so I'm just going to start anyway without her, and then she can jump on later. So I know that I've seen this week has been, in fact the last couple of weeks have been really difficult for a lot of you, and I know that the last week in particular has been a real struggle. There's been a lot of team members who have really had some massive face down moments. They've had stuff going on in their lives that has really created some big blocks and really made their lives and the business a lot more challenging. And so I really wanted to touch base on this. I wanted to talk about my own journey because I know, you all see me sitting up here at SSC going, she's done really well, she's got this big team, blah, blah, blah. She must be really, whatever you're thinking. I just want to let you know that I am just as real as you guys, and I have just the same kind of shit going on and throughout my journey as all of you. So I totally understand what a lot of you are going through, and I know it's completely normal. So what I want to do first is I just want to share a little bit about my journey and my own face down moments and how I managed to get through this. I hope you can hear me with that noise in the background. Sorry, my daughter's doing the dishes. It's great. So when I first started, so most of you will know this, that when I first started, I started because I was on the products, because I was really sick, and I had amazing results. My upline and really good friend at the time said to me, so I was obviously wanting to get well. That was my biggest desire. I was tired of being sick, and I tried everything, and this was like my last resort. And so I didn't actually care how much it was going to cost, because I was spending way more a month on supplements that weren't working and treatments that weren't actually doing anything for me. So for me, I didn't give a shit about that. Even though we didn't have a lot of money to spare, I thought it doesn't matter. This has got to be better than what I'm doing. And if it's not, well, it's just another thing I've tried, and then I can go on to something else. So I decided that I was going to do it. It was pretty much a, yep, look at it, yep, I'm going to do it, yep, let's do it. So I was ordering my products through the website, trying to, and my friend said to me at the time, she said, because I was saying how I'm really excited about this, I can't wait to start this, I really hope it helps me. She said, yeah, she said, I was so excited too, I couldn't wait to I couldn't actually wait to get started in this business. She said, I've actually managed to leave one of my jobs, because she had about 3 jobs to try and make ends meet. She said, I actually managed to be able to leave one of my jobs because I started doing this, and it's created some income for me. And I was like, what? My ears pricked up, and I'm like, really? Tell me about that. And I was only just ordering my products. And so she sent me a link. I watched the link, and I was like at her like straight afterwards. I said, right, I want to know more. I'm in. I'm doing this. And then after 4 days, I decided, I loved it so much, I signed up after 4 days, because I had so many amazing results just in 4 days' time. And for me, what really stood out to me the most was that it was an opportunity for me to tick all my boxes. I could do absolutely everything that I wanted. I could create the life that I wanted. I could help other people do whatever they want to do, create the life that they want, and do whatever they want with their life, but also to help people step into their potential. That was the biggest part for me. But I also, as a bonus, I got to step outside of my job that I hated, and I got to be able to, an opportunity to travel the world and have our dream home and never ever have financial worries again. So for me, NMD was massive. And so it was right up there in my vision. So, I had this vision right from the start that I was getting NMD, that I was standing up on the stage, I was doing my speech, I had my song, I had everything sorted on my first day of starting. So when I started, I had DVF within my first 10 days, and I had SDVF within my first 22 days. So I got both my 2 bonuses, and so I smashed everything out. And that's because I had incredible desire. But also, I just want you to remember something. I was incredibly sick. I was really sick, and I had been for years, and all of my friends and family saw this. I didn't necessarily share how sick I was on Facebook, but I had a lot of friends that I knew that were off Facebook that I, knew personally, a lot of family, they all knew I was sick. And so when I had such amazing changes, they were like, oh my God, if that helps Tanya, it's definitely going to help me. So they jumped on board. So I was really blessed that I had that to start with. The other thing that I was really blessed about is I had an amazing friend who is actually my business partner of my other business that I have that's actually not, it's on hold at the moment, my Kids Dream Space, which is my children's educational program that we're developing. And she was my financial business partner. I was the director, the managing director, and she was the financial business partner and the creator. Anyway, she loved me so much and supported me so much that she decided to join me in the team so that I could get my first promotion. So I was really blessed that I had that support. And so that's another reason why I managed to get to SDVF really quickly. So I just want to make that clear right now that I didn't, yes, I went out and talked to people about the business straight away, but I was really blessed that one of the first people I talked to was my business partner, and she was like, I totally understand the products, it makes sense, I want to try it. And she was like me, she hated the corporate model, she was over it, and she wanted to try something different. She'd done Melaleuca and all sorts of other things in the past and decided she was going to give it a go. So it wasn't just to support me, but she understood. That was great. She got to DVF with her by buying her daughter, buying 2 of her friends, her friend and her daughter a product as well. But then she did nothing. So she sat there and did nothing. The next person my next teammate that I got was one of my customers who was also my ex-sister-in-law who'd been sick for years. She had an autoimmune disease. She had lupus. She had bipolar. She had all these things going on, and she tried everything. And I reached out to her because she actually sent me a message and asked, can anyone help me? I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. And I sent her a message. I said, look, honey, you could try these. She immediately tried them. She started getting really good results. And then she was talking to a friend of hers who was also interested in the product. And she sent me a message and said, right, Tanya, she said, I want to sign up so that I can start getting some customers because I've got this customer interested. And I'm like, sweet, let's do it. So she did. But she didn't do anything. She had that one customer and she didn't do anything, and she stopped taking her products after a couple of months. Said it's not working. She had lupus and she'd been sick for years and she just gave up on it. And so this was my first 2 teammates. I had no rock stars, and so things. I got to SDVF. Yes, I was really blessed, but I got there and like my team were like, "What's going on?" They're like not doing anything. Nothing's happening. I thought like when you get team, you're supposed to start really making money, right? You're supposed to start really building, and things are going to start happening. It didn't work like that for me. So when I got my next teammate, and this was a bit low start. This would have been probably about 3 months in. And Lochna was she's one of my best friends. I love her to bits. She was a customer and had anxiety and had a beautiful story. It really helped her with her anxiety. And so she decided that she was going to give it a go too because she loved the product. She gets the whole look after you, you give your gut really good nutrition and it's great for your mental health. So she jumped on. She was my rock star. She was my absolute rock star. She jumped in, she got customers, she got a team member, she just went with it. She smashed her first promotion and bonus, her second promotion and bonus, and she got herself qualified in the next month. So within 3 months, like me, she got qualified. She got her first 2 promotions and got qualified. She absolutely smashed it, and I hardly had to do anything. All I had to say to her was like, Loach, you've got this many points to get honey before this date, and then you'll get there. And she goes, right, it's done. And it was done every single time. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I'm just so blessed right now. And then we went away, we got married, we went away on our honeymoon, and I couldn't do a lot because when we had planned our honeymoon, I hadn't been in the business then, so we didn't plan time every day for the business. So it was a very busy schedule, and so I didn't have a lot of time to put into my business. So a lot of my team kind of didn't really do a lot. That's the thing. If you don't do anything as a leader, your team aren't going to do much either. And so they kind of just sat there for a bit. And then I got this message, and it absolutely gutted me from Loach, from my rock star. And she couldn't do it anymore. It was too hard. The social media thing was too much for her. She just couldn't cope with it. I'm really sorry, Tans. I hope this doesn't ruin our friendship. I was absolutely gutted. My only rock star was like quitting, and I was and honestly, that was the worst face down moment. And I think because I was way over on another part of the world and I couldn't do anything about it. And, and I blamed myself because I hadn't been doing anything. I hadn't been the role model that I was hoping to be for my team. And so I was absolutely gutted that happened. And it took me a long time to come out of it. I remember feeling shaky for days. I remember calling Katrina and leaving a voice message for her and crying, saying, Kat, I don't know what to do. Lochie's giving up. I'm really gutted. I don't know, how can I help her, because I love her too. I love her, and I wanted her, because she would message me and say, wow, your travels are inspiring me to keep doing this. And then I get this message. So I was absolutely gutted. I understood there was a whole lot of other stuff for her going on, and that's fine. But I understand when you get somewhere and you think you've got this amazing rock star or this amazing team, and then they just disappear. And then what happened after that is I just continuously, like, you grow it, and then it would kind of plateau, and then you grow it, and then it would kind of plateau again. And I tell you what, the amount of times that I felt like, is this all worth it? The amount of times so many times I've thought that, but never ever once have I ever given up. And why? Because every time I think, well, what have I got to go back to? What is there? There's this, or what is there? For me, I didn't want to go back to that crappy job. I didn't want to go out and work for someone else's dream, work hard for someone else, and then get a paycheck at the end of the week, and that's it. The way I see it is this is an opportunity for me to actually create something that's going to go on forever, that's going to grow and grow and grow and go on forever. And what happened in that whole journey is, and I think the hardest thing, even harder than having my rock star disappear, by the way, she's still in the team, but she's just in the team. She's not really doing anything, but that's fine. That's totally her decision. And I love her anyway. I love her where she's at. And one day, who knows, she might decide to come back, and that's okay. But something that I really, really, really struggled with the most in this journey is losing my friends, losing my family, people rejecting me. That was the biggest thing out of all of this, is people going, oh, unfriending me. Oh, I think you're nuts, you're crazy, I don't like what you're doing, totally rejecting me. And I tell you what, I've had so many people reject me. And right now, I actually don't care, because the journey that I've been on to get here, you have to not care, because if you care, you're never actually going to get anywhere. So what happened for me was, along the way, is before I started this journey, I was really, really close to my family. My family and I were super, super close, and we had done everything together. We supported each other, and my dad was a massive part of that. My dad was like the glue that held the family together. It was really important to him. He always was the one that organised all the family events, and if there was ever any conflict in the family, he'd get us together and sit us down and say, and he was the mediator, and he'd say, like, work this out. We're not having this kind of shit in the family. Well, my dad passed away before we started. So it was like there was this transition of change for me. So it was about, he passed away in the March, and I started the business in the August. And in that time, there was a whole lot of family stuff that was going on, and I felt like I was just doing my duty and kind of carrying, doing what I had to do. And then I started the business, and then I started to change. And you know what I did when I changed? I became myself. So I just stepped into myself, and I started looking at everything that's not working in my life right now. What is not working? And you know, a really good thing about this is that when you look at what's not working in your life, that is a massive reflection of what's going on in your inner life. What is going on inside you? So when stuff around you starts going bad, when things start going pear-shaped, I don't know, when you're seeing lots of arguments around you, or what was happening for me, like my family was going strange. I was starting to feel rejected. What that was about my own feelings. I had carried with me this fear of rejection all my life, for as long as I can remember, as a 5-year-old, hiding behind the house and not wanting to go to school because I was afraid that my parents were going to move away and leave me behind. That's from how young I can remember it. So I've had this with me forever. And so when I could see this in my outer world, I thought, this is exactly what I'm feeling on the inside. And if I don't deal with this right now, I am never going to get that N and D. I'm never going to be standing on that stage, saying my speech, listening to my song, being able to inspire people the way I wanted to inspire people. That's never going to happen. So I knew that I had to start changing it. And so I stepped more into myself, and it was scary as hell. It was horrible, because in that process, I've had to let go of my sisters, even my mum. I don't have a close relationship with my mum anymore. I've had to just kind of go, okay, that's all right, they're over there, and I'm really happy doing this. And now I'm at the point where I'm actually feeling really, really happy in myself, because what's happened in that process is, as I stepped away, and I tell you what, there's been a lot of people that have stepped away. I mean, even I hate to say it, my upline, she doesn't talk to me anymore. And she was one of my best friends. It's just that she didn't align with me anymore. So our vibration has changed. So as I'm growing and these people aren't, or they're on a different path, then they kind of disappear out of your life. And as that happens, new people come into your life. New people who are ready for change and want to embrace change and are ready to create something in their life that they really want to. And so as hard as it is, as awful as it is, what kept me going the whole time, even though I had those awful feelings of rejection and, oh my God, I can't do this, is like my family and I have been close for so long. How is it that I have to be the one to be rejected out of everybody, whereas now I go, you know what? I'm the strong one here. I'm the one going, actually, I don't want to be part of that bullying scenario anymore. I don't want to be that small, mediocre person that I used to be. I want to be way bigger than that, and I deserve to be way bigger than that, and so do you guys. You totally deserve to be bigger than that. You deserve to be as big as you want to be, because at the end of the day, if you're following your heart, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter one iota what other people think. But yes, it's painful. It's really, really painful. I can promise you this, it gets better. It gets better every time, because now I feel really, really good about it. So I'm going to shut up for a moment, because I can see that Max is on. I'm really pleased that you can relate to that, Gail. And no, people don't like it when we change. That is so true, Sarah. So, and that's the thing. And, I have discovered since with my sister, my brother, because my brother and his partner are really the only ones that I'm really close to at this point, and which is fine. But he's actually said to me that apparently one of my sisters is jealous of me because it's come out in conversation that they've had, which is fine. I just think, well, at the time I thought, what does she have to be jealous of me for? I've never done anything that's amazing or, but I actually don't care about that anymore. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what she thinks. It actually doesn't matter what other people think. They can talk about me all they want. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing is right for me, I'm following my own heart, I'm following my own truth. And I'm doing, and you know, the most beautiful thing about it is when I was talking before about how whatever is happening in your outer world is what's reflecting what's happening on your inner world. You can see it. If there's really good stuff happening in your outer world, you know that you're doing a good thing. So when you're getting people saying, wow, you're so inspiring, thank you for everything you're sharing, thank you for everything you're doing, then you know that you are doing the right thing for you. Because do you know what else happens, which is really interesting? Those neg ferrets, or those people that think that you are, you know, they can't relate to you or they don't vibe with you, you don't actually see them anymore. They don't pop up anymore. So now, you know, I used to get the odd neg ferret who would, you know, in a cold market ad, or, you know, someone, if I asked them, they'd get all negative about it and challenge me with it. And then I got to the point where I was like, all right, bring it on. You know, give me a challenge, because I know exactly how to deal with this. It's all good. Now, I don't get them. I haven't had one for probably about 8 months now. And that's just because they don't vibe with me. They're not on the same level as you, so they're not even going to turn up in your space. You know, they're not even there. And so that's what I've really got a lot out of this, what I've noticed has changed. So I'm actually going to pass you on to Maxine. Just going to find you, Max. Because Maxine, Maxine was my next rock star, by the way, after Loach. Rachel started after that, and then Maxine. So Maxine was my number 5 teamie. And also she is one of my best friends, and Maxine was the last person I would ever have thought that would be interested in this business. For one, she was massively skeptical, and for two, she wasn't even on social media for years. And when she did start on social media, her profile pic was always a photo of another woman. Like, she never wanted to show her face or share anything, or, you know. So when Maxine decided she wanted to do this, I was like, whoa, really? That's so cool. And I tell you what, she is my diamond. She is a diamond, this lady. She really is. And it doesn't matter. And I just want to say right now that even though Maxine, and you'll call yourself a plotter, I know you do, Maxine, but you know what? It doesn't matter how fast or slow you go. It makes no difference how long you take to do it. As long as you keep that desire and that fire burning in you, you will get there, because it's not a race. We're not competing against each other. It doesn't matter how long you take. So I just want to share that before I pass you on. I'm going to spotlight you, Maxine. Share away, honey. Share your journey for us, will you? Where are you? Maxine, are you there? Maxine! Where is she? Oh, she's not even here. Okay, I'm just going to send her a message and tell her she's going to be spotlighted. Maxine, are you there? How have I disabled your video? It's a bit weird. Okay, can you get it now, Maxine?
Okay, I'll try. Hang on.
How did I do that?
Okay, that was weird. It just said that the host has disabled your video. I don't know what you did.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, you're spotlighted now. Hi, gorgeous. Go for it.
You can see me now.
We can see you, and I'd love you to share your journey with these lovely people.
Are we talking specifically about neg ferrets and challenges?
I just want you to share your face down moments, Maxine.
Right.
And
it is interesting. Yeah, well, it's really interesting because that you say that I was the least likely to jump on, because I would agree with that. You know, but at the end of the day, I was really, really attracted by the money. I'm not going to lie. And I thought, oh, I don't give a shit if it's network marketing. If it makes me money, bring it on. I don't care.
I love that.
So that was my thinking. But yes, I had an interesting friend. She's one of my bridesmaids, so we did our nursing training together. And she gave me a lot of shit, didn't she, when I came on? Spewing all over my posts with her opinions. Half-baked opinions. I don't know. I don't know what her deal was, really. I think it kind of came to the opinion that she wanted to be the authority on things, and so that was what was happening on my post. She was jumping on and saying, oh yes, but blah blah blah, and have you researched this, and have you done that, and have you whatever. I mean, it was all just completely over the top. So in the end I just said, look, don't comment on my posts anymore. I'm just going to delete your comments if you keep doing it. So then I got the 20-page vomits coming into my inbox and my messenger instead, which I suppose was an improvement on my posts. But it just carried on, and it didn't matter how much comeback I gave her, how much research I pointed her to, whatever. It just went over her head, and the vomiting would continue, you know. So, yeah. I mean, in the end, I did end up blocking her, and then she kind of came back to me through text. Because we're sort of still maintaining a bit of a friendship outside Juice Plus at this point. Then she'd kind of come at me through texts. Oh, gosh, in the end, it was, I just blocked her everywhere, really. But it just was really interesting to me. It just seems like some people, I don't know what it is. It's almost like in some weird way they want to be valued for their input, and they want everyone to say, oh yeah, you're the really clever wise one, gosh, I wish I'd thought of that, or whatever. I don't know, does that sound right? Something like that.
Do you want to just share your own personal journey with it, Maxine? Like, you know, because I know it was a real struggle for you. I know you were really challenged with it. For, you know, so what helped you get through that?
Well, I'm a fairly assertive person anyway, I suppose. But what helped me get through it? Really, I would say you helped me a lot, Tanya. In all honesty, if the fact that you actually hopped in the group today, Sarah, and said what was happening for you, do that every time, because that was what helped me. I got the support from you guys and the team. And I think what you did, Tanya, when she was really hammering me, is you pointed me at a video where Linda Evenden does this beautiful, beautiful video on neg ferrets. I don't know if you've still got that, but that's a very good one to watch.
I'll find it.
So I watched that one, and that was perfect. So I would say, honestly, just come to us and get some support, like you're doing now. So what you did today was good, Sarah. We need to do that, and that was definitely what got me through. And I think I jumped in the Team Love group or something, and then Kat was supporting me. And you know, you get everyone else jumping on saying yes. You know, yes, that's happened to me. And I, you know, people even helped me kind of write responses to her. In the end, I would say don't even bother going there with all those arguments. Yeah. So I think that was the biggest advice that I could give, is go straight to someone in your upline, or if they're not there, somebody else in the team, and talk about it. Yeah, and I mean, you get stronger with everyone. I haven't had a huge amount of it. I had another one. Yeah, I did have another one that kind of got on my post and gave me a bit of a hard time about network marketing. But then I just private messaged her, and I actually talked to her about why I was doing it. I said I actually want to create a retirement fund for myself. This is why I'm doing it. You know, I actually came from the heart. She was a slightly different friend. She was an okay person. So I talked about why I was doing it. I just came from the heart. And she was fine. She actually said, that's cool. I'll, crack on. I'll leave you alone. And she has. So that's another, I think that's another quite a powerful thing to do, is just say, come from the heart and talk about why you're doing it, and how you want to support your kids. I say that in my posts about the business. I'm supporting my family. I'm contributing to my family. That's why I'm doing this. Then they have to be an even bigger asshole if they're going to argue with that, don't they? Mm-hmm. So, keep the moral high ground.
I love that. Maxine. And that is something that shone through with Maxine the whole time. She stayed in her truth every time. And I think that's something that is really important to hold on to here. That's the most important thing. Always go back to your why. Why are you doing this? And that will always keep you strong and against anyone who's going to challenge you. Because at the end of the day, you can't be swayed if your desire is strong, if your why is strong. Great advice, Maxine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so at the same point that you're at now. Like, you can't worry about what anybody thinks, And I would like to share something that happened today to me. I had a bit of a moment today where I got quite weepy. Because, we're connected. Do you find this, Tanya? Like, we're connecting with people all the time, and there are so many people out there who are just living in hell with their health, like unimaginably horrible things happening in people's lives. All day we're talking to people like that. I talked to somebody today. This was around the same time that this discussion about the neg ferrets was going on. I've talked to a young woman today. She's 35. She's just got married, and she's just had a diagnosis of cardiomyopathy. That's a really serious health condition. So, and I'm thinking, this is what we need to be focusing on, Like, fuck those people. They're not important. They don't mean anything. The people out there that are suffering, that could be helped by us, they're the people that we need to be putting our energy into. Honestly, don't even like, they don't deserve your time. The poor people out there that are struggling on a day-to-day health, just trying to survive, they're the people that deserve your attention and your energy. And that really hit home to me today after talking to this woman,
I had the same thing today too. I was talking to someone that we met years ago in Rarotonga, and she's been interested in the business and the product for a long time, but never actually jumped on. But the awful thing is, I've never really pushed it because she's had, so her husband had a massive bike accident years ago and actually lost one of his arms and became pretty much a cripple overnight. And he had a bit of a bad attitude at the time, so he's completely changed. But what's happened from that is she became his full-time caregiver for years. So and they had just bought a massive lifestyle block just before the accident. So now it's created a massive job for her. And also they had a business, so now she's running it on her own. But I just reconnected with her today to see how they're doing. And she said to me, that he's in so much pain. She said she gave me a whole list of painkillers that he's on every day. He's in constant pain. And my heart just went out to her, and I just, I said, I'm so sorry, I wish I could help you. And she just said to me, thank you so much for caring. And that's all she said, thank you so much for caring. So
Yes,
people like that you care. They want to know that you care.
Yeah.
Even if you can't help them.
That's exactly how I feel. I've had a lot of conversations with people now, and sometimes they don't go anywhere. But actually, just they had someone to talk to for a while, and that's massive. That in itself is that's a gift,
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
Maxine, do you want to share any of your other face down moments? Because I know there has been some times in the business where you've just thought, is this all worth it?
Yeah, I've had times when I've thought this is too hard, and
Do you want to share?
I think the thing is, it is kind of sometimes feels a bit relentless, like I have to get up every day and do it. But you're going to have to get up every day and do something. I had a real face down moment where I went to bed one night and I thought, I can't cope with this anymore. I don't think this is for me. And I went to bed, and when I got up in the morning, this thought just went into my head, and I thought, if I don't do this, what am I going to do? What do I have if I don't have this? It just came to me like a really crystal clear voice in my head, and that got me back on track, because I thought, that's true. What am I going to do? I'm not going to go back to nursing. I don't really want to run a mental health practice for the rest of my life where I have to schlep off to a massage table day in and day out. So that was a bit of a wake-up call for me as well, is that, if not this, then what, really? And Adam talks about that too. That was the point that he got to as well. So, yeah, I would just say, get back into action. Just, even if it's just you message one person, you put up one post, and that's all you can do in a day, just do something. It actually makes you feel so much better to be in action. It's being out of action that makes you feel, that's when it all starts kind of getting on top of you. So I would say, yeah, just do something, even if it's something small.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing, Maxine. So much wisdom there. I'm going to just spotlight you now. So, as you can see, really the most important thing to do is whenever you're feeling like, I can't do this anymore, everything's far too hard, go back to the reason why you're doing it and ask yourself, and that's something that's been huge for me in every face down moment that I've had, is I've gone, well, what else is there for me to do? It's either this or it's working for someone else. Leaving my home, leaving my family, going against everything that I've been doing for so long. And something that that's really resonated with me that I heard today, and I want to share with you all, is this really good saying. This is by a man called Jim Quick, and he says, when an egg is cracked externally, it dies, right? So if you crack an egg from the outside, it's going to die. When an egg cracks from the inside, it's often the start of new life, right? So when the egg is cracking from the inside, it's the baby bird ready to come out, right? And so that's really what, kind of like what I was talking about before, is when you've got stuff happening on the outside, you cannot change that. And when you are focusing on everything externally to you and trying to change that and looking at how can I change everything here, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. Everything is going to stay the same, or it's only going to get worse. But when you focus on what's going on inside you, so reflecting on, okay, why is this in my environment happening right now? How can I change what's happening in my environment? You can change it by changing yourself and what your perception is to it, what your beliefs are around it, where your values are sitting, what feels right to you and what doesn't feel right to you. And every single time you're creating like a new self, a new person. And as you start to grow and as you start to change, you'll find that your environment will change. Like we were talking before, like even Maxine said about how she just doesn't get those negative people anymore. Neither do I. They just don't come back, and they don't come into my life. My family aren't around me. They just aren't in my life anymore. I just don't have those negative people in my life anymore. I don't have those same negative situations I used to have. Sure, I have shit things happen to me, but it doesn't overwhelm me like it used to. I used to have something happen to me and it completely overwhelmed me. It doesn't do that anymore. For now, I can just kind of take it in my stride and think, oh, well, it's just something that's happened. And then look at the positives around it. And it's amazing how that just becomes obsolete. It just doesn't happen anymore. And so that's a real reflection of how much work you're doing on yourself and how much you've grown. So then you can look back and go, wow, I've actually really grown from that. So I really just wanted to share all of that with you tonight and hope that you get something out of any kind of challenges that you have in your life. Every time you feel like, shit, is this too hard? One thing that I often think about too is think about all the work that you've put into this point. Do you really want to throw it all away? You know, because it's like, wouldn't you much rather be, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going, like I said before, it doesn't make any difference, but wouldn't you rather be going 20 kilometres the right way instead of, 20 kilometres an hour the right way instead of 100 kilometres the wrong way? It doesn't matter, because everything that you are doing, you are making progress. Doesn't matter if you're sitting and you're not quite there, you haven't got your promotion yet, you're not quite where you want to be, you're not quite earning as much as you want to be earning, you're still making progress. So every little baby step that you do makes progress. And you'll find as you move on through the business, as you make each promotion, as your income starts to grow more, you will find that you will change and your team will change. Your team will grow and kind of morph into something else, and the rock stars that you think you had at the start aren't always the rock stars that take you right through to NMD at the end. And I've heard Kat talk about this a lot, but I've actually seen it. Obviously I'm not at NMD, but I've seen it even to the point that I am now, where I've had, right, she's my rock star, she's going to stay with me. And I've had that so many times, thinking that this is my rock star, and then they've kind of disappeared. And then someone else new has come up. And so it's always about just working with who you have at the time, appreciating every single person that's in your team, because every single person in your team is doing something. If they're not actually bringing in customers or team, they're working on themselves. And if they're not doing any of that, then they're not quite ready for it yet anyway. And so maybe, they just need more time. Maybe they're just not right for this, and they slowly disappear. Yeah, because I've had team disappear. I've had them completely fall off the radar and actually not become a franchisee anymore. I've had 3 of them now fall off, and that's okay. It's not for them, and it's okay. It's going to happen. It's part of the business. And so if you can be comfortable, and I would say being comfortable being uncomfortable, and knowing that you are going to lose people. People are going to disappear. You're going to have rock stars that are going to rock it and are going to go for it, and then they might disappear, or they might keep going. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. But the most important thing is if you can take every single face down moment, every single rejection, every challenge that you have, every team member that drops off, every customer that cancels their order, and go, it's okay because I've got this. It's okay because I've got those customers. It's okay because I've got these team members. It's okay because I'm doing what I love, and I'm inspiring people, and I'm giving back to the world. And so always look at what it is that you have got, because in those face down moments, that'll be the last thing that you'll be thinking of. So that's why a vision board is a really, really, really good idea. A vision board is a fantastic thing to have, because in those face down moments you can look at that and it can remind you, that's what I'm here for, that's what I'm doing this for. Or have your why somewhere where you can see it. So I know I've talked about Teamsy, and I'm going to just talk about Teamsy briefly right now, but because one of the things that I absolutely adore about Teamsy is that you've got your why sitting right there to remind you when you're doing your DMO, your why's there, and you can go, okay, that's why I'm doing it, and it helps inspire you to keep doing it. So for anybody that hasn't got Teamsy, I know, Gail, I was going to get the link to you, honey. I will do that still. I'm going to write it down right now so I don't forget. Link for Teamsy. So anyone else who wants the link to Teamsy, let me know in the chat or come off mute or something, and I can maybe I can pop it into Soul Tribe for you. So if anybody wants to share a challenge or anything like that, you'd like it, Sarah, okay, I'll send it to you too, honey. If anybody has anything that they're challenged about, any questions that you want answered, sing out now and we can help you with that. Put it in the chat or come off mute would be even better. Just come off mute if there's anything that you want to share, any challenges that you have that you want to talk about. In fact, I'm going to take you all off mute anyway. Okay, if I can. Okay, so no one has anything that they want to talk about? Okay, well, I might just, you want to say something, Maxine, do you?
No, I was just unmuting myself because it asked me to.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then I will let this meeting go then. And thanks for coming, everyone. I'm just going to stop recording.